Okay, so one of the things that one of the things that I researched before going on the road for a long trip was to lubricate the seals of the doors and windows. And I was told that WD-40 kind of clogs things up a little bit too much. It gets, coagulates a little bit. So the secret was petroleum jelly. Petroleum jelly, some known as a Vaseline, but basically petroleum jelly, which is a petroleum product, as stated in the name, which is an oil product. Did you know? Speaking of petroleum, did you know that AstroTurf is a petroleum product? Yeah. So when people use AstroTurf as thinking that it's a drought-tolerant replacement for grass, and they install AstroTurf by removing the grass, what they're actually doing is creating a fire island. Yeah, little known tip. So here I am. Let's see. Okay, that's not... Oh, right here. So right here. Oh, and right here. All right. So I'm putting this on so that it keeps the seals lubricated and they won't freeze up when going into cold weather. Because driving to Alaska, you can only imagine the different types of cold weather. Not to mention Canada. Canada is very cold this time of year as well. So driving into Canada and Alaska in order to start my new life, protecting the car and the window and door seals from freezing is probably a very smart thing to do. But I haven't been able to do that up till now because, for the most part, my car has been at the mechanics. So we just got it back from the mechanic, who admitted that it was his mistake in regards to the shimmying that I was feeling after driving my vehicle for the first time. That's Freckles. Freckles is... Let's move. We're going to bring the video up just a little bit closer. Freckles, you can go ahead and lay down there. Anyway, so... Oops, that's my paper towel. All right. So the mechanic admitted that it was his oversight in regards to the shimmying, or the imbalance that my car was experiencing while driving at high speeds after he had installed snow, or I should say rain and snow and sleet tires, which are basically all-weather tires, not the same as snow tires, by the way. But I wasn't going to be leaving from California with snow tires on. I mean, I guess I should have, considering that there ended up being lots of snow, but hindsight is 20/20, they always say. But anyway, so we put on all-weather tires, and I guess when I get to a place where it's going to really be snowing, or black ice or whatever, then that's when I will be retaining some chains and having them put on my vehicle. But until then, in order to keep the windows from freezing, or the seals from freezing and breaking off, I'm putting petroleum jelly, aka Vaseline, on the seals around the windows and doors. I also have a windshield solution that I'm going to be putting on my windshield that keeps it from fogging up. Yeah, because believe it or not, I just had someone I know in New York just had sent me a message a couple days ago about how he was on the highway, his local highway, and his car just like shut down. Everything, no lights, the windows, the power windows weren't working. The DeFrogger wasn't working, so he couldn't see. Thankfully, he was able to pull over. He was familiar with the highway because it's his local highway, so he was able to pull over, take it to an off-ramp that he knew would take him to a local, a parking lot that he was familiar with. But isn't that scary? That'd be absolutely scary if, you're in the middle of a highway at night and everything just shuts down. You can't see, you can't roll down the windows, you can't turn on the windshield wipers, and you can't open the doors. How scary is that? So, one of the flashlights that I have actually is a, it's a regular flashlight, but then there's a secondary light that has a red light on top. And I've had this flashlight for a couple years, and I've always wondered, why would someone need a flashing red light on top, like on a regular flashlight? And then it hit me a few days ago. I was like, oh shit. If I get in that situation where my windows won't roll down, the engine shuts off, I can't turn on the defrost, and I can't turn on the windshield wipers, and quite possibly incapable of turning on the hazard signals, and I'm in the middle of the freeway, I will have that little flashlight with me, and I'll turn it on, and probably, being that if I'm in a car where, if, say, the windows are all fogged up or there's ice on the windows, and I turn that light on, it'll probably illuminate the red flashing light, and people will notice it. So I'm going to make sure I have that flashlight with me. I also have a jump starter that, well, it's like, what do you call it? Like I forget what you call it. It's an external power supply. So, you charge it by plugging it into your, regular outlets in your home, or, regular wall outlet. You charge it, but it has an AC port. I think that's what it's called, for the regular plug, for your regular plugs that you use inside your house. It has an AC port that you can plug things into. It also has 2 Ethernet ports, as well as the body of it. You can charge, phones, devices that charge wirelessly, like some iPhones, or some smartphones. You can charge wirelessly just by placing it on top of the device. So that's good. Plus it has a work light attached to it, and it has an attachment for jumper cables so that you can theoretically jumpstart your car without the need of another vehicle. But I also wonder if you've been using the power box to power other devices during your drive, how effective is it going to be when it comes time to jump starting your car with that same device? It's probably not going to be fully effective. Like, is it going to have to sit there for a minute, or what? But it does have the flashing light and all that other stuff. So I guess even if I'm not able to jump start a vehicle, I will be able to flash a light and power my phone to make an emergency phone call. That's good. What else do I have? So I packed, pillows and blankets in the vehicle. Trying to keep most of the stuff in the vehicle that I would want to have readily accessible. Like, I have, the box that has all the auto stuff in it is sitting right behind the passenger seat. So if I do need it, all I need to do is just turn around and pop the lid on the box, of supplies. You have my owner's manual. I actually have a hard hat, and I have an emergency jacket, you know, with reflectors on it, emergency vest, and as well as one for my dog. So he has an emergency vest as well, a reflector vest. It's a harness, actually. So if, God forbid, we need to stand on the side of the road or something, people will be able to see us. He also, for my dog, I also have a harness that has a seat belt attached to it. It's like an attachment that it attaches to a D-ring inside, outside the harness, and then the other end of it clips right into your regular automobile seat belt. So that's that. And as you can see, he's ready to go.